Hello, and welcome to Math 050. This is a Colorado Mountain course about quantitative literacy, okay? And this is a video about the online course orientation, okay? Where we'll discuss how to be a student in the online course. There are many benefits and challenges to an online course, and we'll discuss those in this video. First, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Joseph Police. You guys can call me Mr. Police. You can call me Joe. My nickname that a lot of people call me is Jopo. So you can use that too. And I'm a high school math teacher in Frisco, Colorado. Okay, I teach at a high school called Snowy Peaks High School. It's a non-traditional school where we specialize in what we call flipped and blended learning. Okay, and I'm going to kind of talk about that here in a second. A little bit more about me. I grew up in Kansas City, have taught for 11 years, moved out to Colorado this past summer, or a year ago now, in the summer of 2016 to work at Snowy Peaks High School. So let's just quickly talk about flipped learning, and then we'll continue through the video on how to be a student in an online class. Okay, so flipped learning. The story goes is that in summer of 2012, they asked me to teach calculus at the high school I was at in Kansas City. And I had to go back and relearn some concepts before I took the class. I had to do what's called trigonometry. And I did what I used to do in college. I used to just open the book and start reading the book and try to understand it and figure it out on my own. Even though I had already learned the material, I had a lot of questions. And it wasn't going that well. Just trying to go back through the book. And I remembered sitting there in the summertime, being frustrated and being like, hey, this is taking way too long. How could I expedite this process? How could I make myself learn faster? So I decided to YouTube trigonometry, and all sorts of videos popped up. And I started watching the videos, and I relearned all of trigonometry in about 2 hours, okay? If I would have gone the route of trying to figure it out from the book, then it would have taken me weeks to do, okay? So I really, found this idea of using videos to learn as a very, very powerful tool. And I thought back to classes that I had taken in high school and college. And what I noticed was that every time I would sit in class and the teacher would do problems on the board, I could follow it, I could do it. I didn't really understand why everything worked or how everything worked, but I was able to kind of mimic the teacher and, figure it out and pass those classes, okay? But I didn't have a deep understanding of what I was doing, all right? And I often had this problem where I would go to class and I would understand it when the teacher did it, but then I would wait like 5 or 6 hours, minimum to do my homework. And then once I got to my homework, I had no idea what was happening. And I said, if I would have had a video of that lecture, I could go back and I could relearn the material, refresh myself, and then be able to do the homework. And that's what we're going to talk about, how we're going to do that in this class. Okay, so I fully adopted this. I specialize in this. I think it's the best way for you to learn. And the cool thing is that it makes you become your own learner. You're not just sitting there and just mimicking what the teacher does. You have to actually go through and understand it and learn it. And it's a hard process to learn, but once you learn how to do this process, you can really tackle anything, and you're going to become a better learner than you were when you stepped in here today. So we're going to continue this video and kind of show you how to be a student in this class, and we're going to go over the syllabus, how to do homework, how to turn things in, where to take tests, and all that. So we're going to continue on, and we'll see you in a second. Okay, in this portion of the video, we're going to talk about how an online class works and how you need to be a student in the online class. You have a copy of this page on your syllabus, okay? And so what we're going to do is we're going to practice how to take notes, okay? So actually what I'm doing right now, I want you to also do. So we're going to practice taking notes, all right? And so everything that I write down on this, we're going to write down. We're going to talk about how to take notes and all that. So but this is going to be kind of a practice on what you'll see. And typically what you'll see, guys, is a video just like this. A lot of times on my videos, you're just going to see the paper that you'll have in front of you, and you're not going to see my face. Okay, you're just going to hear my voice. Let's go ahead and talk about what the purpose of the videos are. Okay, and the most important thing that I've even put here is that this is where the learning takes place. Okay, so what I do is I have everything done ahead of time. You'll have all your notes, all the videos will be available to you. Typically, they'll be available via YouTube. Okay. Or Canvas. Okay, so we're going to try and figure out that they'll be available via YouTube or Canvas. Okay, we got to kind of figure that out on my end, but you know, I'll send out you know, other information so you guys know where to look for the videos. Okay, so the most important thing, again, about the purpose of the videos is that we learn from the videos. Okay, learn from them. All right. That's where our learning takes place, okay? You are not in a classroom, okay? You are doing this from the comfort of your own home, okay? So the videos will be available online. That's where you have to learn from them, okay? And the cool thing about it is that you guys are able to pause and rewind the videos, all right? So if you don't understand something, or if I'm going too fast and I'm writing, you have the ability to stop this video, scroll back through, wait, what did he say again? You know, what did he write? You know, maybe I don't understand that, okay? So you just got to go through that. All right, but you have to find time to do this, okay? Time, where is it? Okay? So you have to be disciplined about this, and you have to create your own calendar, okay? So a lot of time, you know, you say, oh, I don't have time for this. I don't have time to go to, you know, the store or to cook dinner or whatever. You have to make time. Okay, you have to make time for this class. Okay, it's going to be quite a bit of work, but it will pay off in the end. I guarantee that. Okay, and you know, the other cool thing about the videos, the purpose of the videos is that, you know, if you can go back, all right, and rewatch. Okay, if you don't understand a concept, you can go back and rewatch to help with, you know, to help with studying. Okay, you can do that to help with homework problems. All right, so, you know, and we'll kind of go through that. So, all right, let's go ahead and look at the next part, which is how do you take notes? Okay, guys, I'm going to tell you this. I didn't really know how to take notes until I was in grad school, and that's kind of sad, but, you know, I'll kind of show you what the importance of taking notes means, okay? The first things first, kind of the obvious part, is that you write everything down, just like you're doing right now. Write everything down as police writes them down, okay, as the teacher writes. All right, that's the important thing. All right, that's kind of the obvious thing, okay, but the important part about this is that you need to make sure that you understand your notes. So make sure you understand these notes, okay? So you shouldn't just be looking at them and just, you know, writing them to write it down, okay? When you look at your notes, you should be able to understand them. That's the point of writing things down, is that when you go back to them, you go, okay, I know how to do this. I write down a step-by-step process. You know, and, you know, for example, like I had to set up my new internet at my apartment. And what I found was the guy told me how to do it, and I'm like, I wasn't going to remember everything that he said, but if I wrote down specific notes, plug in my router, wait for 3 lights to come on, do all those things, you know, I had that information there in my own notes, and I looked at those notes, and I was able to set up my internet, you know, easily because I had step-by-step instructions. So that's the point. You want to make sure you understand your notes, okay? The other cool thing about notes is that they're personal, okay? So you know, for you to understand them, you know, maybe you should write things down that I say but don't write. So write things down, okay, that I say but don't write. All right. So if I say something about a concept and I don't write it down, sometimes that happens. Okay. Sometimes I have like some explanations, that I will say, but I don't write down all those things. Okay. And that's kind of an important thing to do. That's one thing that I really learned. Okay. Was how do I make these personal? How do I make them so that I understand them? Okay. All right. Okay, the other cool thing that we can do is we can write down step-by-step instructions. Okay, step-by-step instructions. You can write those down. All right, and for you on how to do a problem. Okay, I always will say those types of steps. Okay, but I don't always write them down. Okay, and that's kind of how you should be thinking in your head. Don't just mimic me. What I'm doing. I want you to. I want you to mimic what I do, but at the same time, I want you to be able to understand that and do it yourself. Okay. Another cool step on how to take notes is ask questions. Okay. Maybe you go through something and you go through a video and you watch it and you rewatch it a few times, and you're like, you have questions, like ask questions like, what's the point of this? Why am I, not necessarily why am I doing it? I mean, you can say those things, but, how did I come up with this number? How did I go from one step to the next? Okay, so ask those types of questions on your notes, and then you can email me those questions, and we'll go through on how to get help from those questions, okay? Again, guys, make sure you understand your notes. I can't stress this enough. All right, that's the biggest part about this. If you're not understanding your notes, then we need to work on that. And that's a skill that, we can practice throughout the course of this course, all right, is make sure that you understand what you're writing down. Okay, the other thing is that your notes, they are part of your homework grade. So they are part of your homework grade. All right, so in addition to the homework that you'll hand in, and we'll talk about that here in a second, it's part of your homework grade, and you're going to turn these in online, okay? And the weird thing is you're like, hey, I'm filling out a piece of paper. How do I turn that in online? Well, we're going to talk about that, okay? It's one of the cool things about being in an online class. All right, so we're going to talk next about how to do homework and turn it in. So the first thing I want to talk about with homework and how to turn it in, it is due... Okay, it is due weekly, okay, and what I want you to, when it's due is due weekly at 11:59 p.m., okay, on Thursdays, all right? So you got the rest of the weekend to, learn the next concept, basically. So do it at 11:59 on Thursdays, okay? And I'm pretty strict about that. All right. So you have, a week usually to start things and do them. Do not procrastinate in this class. It helps if you kind of chunk it out every day. Okay. How to do homework and turn it in. So you will have to buy a book or obtain a book somehow, either online or a physical book. But the homework will be done out of a book. Okay. Done out of the book. All right, and what you'll do is this homework will be done on paper, so done on notebook paper. All right, and you'll turn it in online. Okay, and we're going to talk about how that happens. So turn it in online. Okay, so how we do that is, I can either accept a picture, okay, from your phone. Preferably, I would like your homework to be scanned in, okay, scanned in as a PDF and emailed to me or turned in on Canvas. We'll kind of work on that here too. So scanned in as PDF. There are apps that you can use on your phone. Okay, apps on your phone for this, okay? Or if you have access to a scanner or printer somewhere, I would scan them in there, email them to yourself, and then name them, and then email them to me, okay? The other thing, I want that will happen is that once you send those to me, I will grade a selected amount of problems, so a selected amount of problems for your work and your answers, okay? For work and answers, okay? And, you know, typically every homework assignment is about, you know, 30-ish questions or so. I'm probably just going to take 5, okay? 4 to 5. And that'll be it. And sometimes when I send these out to you, I will be sending them in a, you know, I'll just send them back as a PDF, usually is what I'll do. Sometimes I'll actually make a video if we're really struggling on things to kind of help you and see where you're making your mistakes, okay? So, okay. The other thing that you can do is you can actually check all of your answers, okay? One of the things I believe in is, you know, not only do you have the videos to work with, but you also have the answers with the work shown available to you, okay? So the solutions will be posted online, okay? So I will physically actually do all of the homework and on paper, and you'll see those online. So let me show you an example of that. So solutions will be posted online, posted online, okay? And so, you know, what you first want to do, the first thing that you do is, you know, are you correct? All right, when you check your answers, are you correct? All right, that's a question you ask yourself, okay? But is your work correct, okay? Is your work correct? All right, are you showing the correct amount of work? Okay, does it look like mine? All right, are you using the right symbols? Are you, you know, and maybe you think about it a different way than I do, and that's okay, but, you know, you should be able to look at my work and figure it out, and that's the other thing. So the second thing that you do, the second thing is are you, you know, if you're not correct, so if you're wrong, then can you go through my work and explain how I do it? So then can you explain my work? Okay, can you do the step-by-step instructions? Step-by-step instructions. Okay, can you do that? All right. So, you know, it's not just a place for you to copy answers. Okay, so do not copy answers. All right, just to get your points. All right, and we'll kind of go over why that's not really a good idea. Okay, you should use them for understanding. So use for understanding. Okay. All right. And then the next thing that I'll have you do is you're going to be kind of doing what I'm doing right now. You're going to record yourself doing math. Okay. This is where what I call the weekly demonstration of skills. Okay. So this is your weekly demonstration all right, and this will be a grade, okay? You're going to do this every week. So how do you record yourself doing math? Okay, there's a number of ways on doing it. You don't have to get too terribly high-tech. If you want to, you can. But you must choose a method. So you must choose a method to record yourself. Must choose method that works for you, okay? That works for you. Okay, and one of those, you know, one of probably the one that I like the most, the one that's helped me become good at making these videos is by using a tablet. Okay, using some sort of tablet device. I use an iPad, and I use an app called Explain Everything, and that's how I make all these videos, and that's how I write. It took me a long time to get to this point where I'm able to write and record these videos that you see. Okay, so I'm going to be using a tablet, and there are tons of apps that you can download. Okay, so but the other thing is that I don't want you to, you know, go out and buy an expensive tablet, buy a stylus, and do all that, you can if you want to. Okay, I am leaving that up to you. If you already have one, you know, you can get a pretty cheap stylus. You can get them for like less than $5. You know, I kind of use a middle of the road stylus, but that's up to you. But I want you to, you know, if you have access to a tablet, let's go ahead and let's download some apps that you would use to be able to write on it, and for you to be able to talk and record that you can send back to me. Okay. The other thing that you can do is you can record yourself on a phone or computer. Okay, so you can use a phone/computer. Okay, your computers, you know, and you will have to have a computer for this class because it is an online class. Typically, they have cameras on them that record you. Okay, and so you know, if you use a phone or a computer, if you can somehow rig that to record yourself. You know, either writing on paper, okay, you know, you can prop your phone up onto some sort of device, use correct light, and then actually write on paper and record yourself. That might be really easy for you to do. The other thing I was thinking of is a small whiteboard, okay, with whiteboard markers. Okay, so small whiteboard that you are going to use to actually go through problems and explain them, okay? And so, you know, you will basically make your own videos, okay? Make videos of you doing math, okay? And, you know, you'll have to not only write out the solutions, but you'll have to also verbally explain things so that I know that you know what you're doing, okay? And that's something that, you know, you may struggle with, and you may have to ask for help online, okay? And so how do you do that, all right? And so, you know, what we call this, or what I'm calling it, is basically virtual office hours, okay? And one of the cool things that CMC offers is a program called WebEx, okay? So you will need to have a camera, like, on your computer in order to do WebEx. Okay, and it's kind of like FaceTiming, but I can FaceTime multiple students, you know, especially if you guys have questions, and a number of you have questions, and you're like, hey, let's all get together on like a Tuesday night, and, you know, you guys have questions, I can answer them, and I can actually, you know, link my iPad to my TV, and you guys will be able to see what I'm writing on my TV. Okay, just like how you're seeing this now, but you'd see it like in real time. And then, you know, I can record those and keep those as, you know, videos that you guys can go back and rewatch. If you're like, hey, I remembered he did this thing in virtual office hours, you know, what he can do is he can just take a video and you know, and send and have it available to us, so that if we still have questions, and he was like, oh yeah, he did a problem on WebEx during his virtual office hours, but I don't remember that. I would love to have that, because he kind of went through explaining how to do a certain type of problem or whatever. Okay. The other thing you can do is you can send a picture of the problem you're struggling with. Okay, send a picture of the problem. All right. And what I can do is I can then send back a video of how to do it, okay, and post it either to, you know, YouTube or Canvas. All right, I haven't figured that out yet, but we'll get that information to you. All right, so we can send back a video that you had a problem with, okay, or you know, if you send me a video of where you're struggling, okay? You know, maybe it's a conceptual thing. Maybe it's an arithmetic thing. You know, we'll kind of go over what the differences of those are, okay? And you send me a video of where you're struggling, and I can immediately just send one back to you, okay? So we've kind of got some options on things that we can do. The only thing is that I will respond after 4 p.m., okay? You know, I work during the day, so you know, my contract hours for my other job goes until 3:30. Okay, I usually like to have a little snack around then, and then 4 p.m. I can kind of get down to business and help you guys out. So, all right, the other thing that is very, very important is where to take exams, okay? And these are exams that must be proctored, okay? Proctored at a CMC testing center. So at a CMC testing center. All right, and so those are found on CMC campuses. And so whenever we have an exam, you actually have to go into a CMC location, set up a time, and take the exam at that specific time. So you must be proctored, and what that means is that there's someone there, watching you take the test and make sure you're not cheating. But you must call and schedule a time. All right, must call and schedule a time at a certain location. So schedule a time to take the test at a CMC testing center. Okay, and those are just found on CMC campuses. Okay, and so, whatever one you're closest to, you may have to make a trek out there to get to those testing centers, but, that's something we got to do. And the other thing is, sorry, let me zoom back in, is that you must, they must be done within the week specified. So it must be done within the week specified on the syllabus. Okay, and we'll kind of talk about that. All right, so during a certain week, we're going to be taking a test, and I'll have more information on that in the syllabus. Okay, the grading policy. Okay, you will be graded on homework. Okay, / your notes. Okay, that'll all be part of a grade. Notes are more of a completion thing. Homework I will grade for accuracy. So this part is accuracy. So did you get them right? Okay, accuracy, and this one will be graded on completion. All right, so when you fill out the notes and they look like what I wrote down on the video, I just need to verify that you have done that. Okay, and those you'll scan in just like you would your homework. Okay, this is 10% of your grade. 10% of your grade. All right, and we're going to talk all about percents. All right, so 10% of your grade. The other thing that we have is your demonstration of skills. All right, demonstration of skills. Okay, and that's going to also be turned in, both of these are turned in weekly, and this is also going to be 10% of your grade. Okay, the other thing is tests. Okay, your tests that are proctored at CMC, so proctored at CMC, and that will be 80% of your grade. All right, so that's a huge chunk. All right, so again, the reason why we make that the test so much of your grade, guys, is because we want to know that you know the material. We want to know that you can sit down, answer questions, and write them out. Okay, and that's why homework, okay, the accuracy portion is only 10% of your grade. All right, these are important that you know how to do these, okay, the homework and the demonstration of skills, because if you can actively do this and you can explain what you're doing, okay, to me, then what I can do, then when you go in and take your tests, you're better prepared. Okay, this is the biggest part, I think. Okay, this is also important because it's so much of your grade that you're able to perform well on these exams. But you have to first demonstrate that you know how to do those problems before you take your test. Okay, and if you can explain something to anybody, then you know what you're doing. Okay, and you understand the reasons why that they work. Okay, so I'll go through some more of some more of these things, but I want you to see this, okay? I want you to see this paper here. All right, and right now, we're about 29 minutes into the whole video, okay? The question is that after writing all this stuff down, does it all make sense, okay? Now, this is kind of how I write down my notes, okay? I don't always I just write down basic words. I don't write down every little thing that I say, but do these make sense? Okay, and certain things, on this video, I purposely wrote my notes this way so that, I wrote them in a certain way so that, if you have to go back and be like, okay, what did he mean by time, ? Disciplined, like, what does that mean? What do those words mean? Do you have time is the question, that's a question I ask, all right? You got to make time, all right? All those little things, when you go back through and read these notes, it should help you understand exactly what we were talking about here. And if it doesn't, then go back and rewatch this video and write a few more things in, okay? You've already written down the base words. There were things that I was saying in this video that, you could go back, rewatch, and then, okay, what did he want me to do to take a picture on the phone? Okay, scanned in as PDF. Like, what does that mean? That's how do you turn them in? All right, and we'll kind of, I'll have some more videos on a better explanation of each of these, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at the next page, which is your syllabus. Okay, on this page, this is the start of the syllabus. I'm going to go through this and kind of talk about, what all this stuff means and, important dates and things that you'll need to know. Okay, so, first of all, my name is Joseph Police. You are in an online Colorado Mountain College course, okay? Here's the title, all that information. This is a 4-credit-hour course, okay? We'll talk about the extra credit. There's another credit that you'll have to do. There's also another, lab that you'll have to take, and we'll kind of talk about that at the end of the video. These are some important dates. So we do start on this date, August 28th, 2017. The end date is the 15th. Okay, we'll have to have this class completed by then of December. Okay, now if you are taking this class and you're going, hey, maybe this online thing isn't for me, as long as you withdraw from the class by the 13th of September, then you can get a refund. If you go through it and you go further on in the semester, the last day to withdraw from the class is November 19th. So those are really important dates that you have to know. Okay, the other important thing here is the required course materials. Okay, so the first thing you'll need is a computer with internet access. That is kind of mandatory, all right? And you'll need a method of recording yourself doing math. And usually, one of the things that we'll be able to do with Canvas is to use your computer to do this. Okay, but if you want to do it on a tablet device, kind of like how I do it, you can do that. It's not required. I would go out and I would buy a small whiteboard to do the problems and get some whiteboard markers. That's probably going to be your easiest bet to do this. And you can get a small whiteboard for really cheap, I think like $8. Okay, so the other thing you need to do is you need to get the textbook, the Developmental Mathematics, College Mathematics and Introductory Algebra, Bittinger and Beecher in the 9th edition. So here are your 2 different ISBN numbers that you can use. Okay, and also you'll need a basic calculator, something that just does basic calculations like add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Okay, and here's the reason why. The reason is because at CMC testing centers, you will not be allowed to use your cell phone as a calculator. Okay, you also need a notebook, paper, and pencils. My advice is a 3-ring notebook. Okay, so you can put all your notes in there, you can put your paper in there, and pencils. That's pretty much all you need. Okay, so here's my name, Joseph Police. For you guys, if you guys want to get a hold of me and you want to call me, you guys can call me at this number. Okay, this is my cell phone number. I don't have an office at CMC, so we kind of have to go that route of me putting out my cell phone number. So if you need to call me for any reason, you can do that. My email address is here, jppolice@coloradomountain.edu. Okay, and the important thing here that we're going to talk about is office hours. Okay, this is by appointment only. Okay, and so what happens, the times that you can reach me is between Monday through Thursday evenings from 5 to 8 p.m., okay? And this will probably be through this program that we offer called WebEx, okay, where, you know, you'll be able to see my face, I'll be able to see your face, and we can talk and we can do problems and so forth, okay? And I will also let you know if I'm unavailable on a certain night. So, like, if I have conferences or something like that on a certain night, I won't be available, I'll let you guys know. I'll kind of send you guys a weekly email, okay? Okay, the next thing we want to talk about is the course description, okay? And so you guys can read through all of this. I'm not going to go through all this. This is basically what I'm teaching, okay? And I'm going to do that on the next page. So let's turn the page. Okay, so all of this information here is what I'll be teaching you, okay? And so I may not be going in this order, but I will be teaching you all these concepts. Okay, and so one of the main things that I want you guys to be able to do, you know, from this class at the end is to gain factual knowledge, learn fundamental principles, generalizations, and theories, and then we're going to learn to apply that course material, okay? Now, the next thing I want to talk about is how I evaluate you. Your grade will be comprised of the following, okay? Homework assignments and guided notes, those will be collected weekly. That's 10% of your grade. Weekly demonstration of skills, that's your videos, that's 10% of your grade. And then tests and quizzes, and those are completed at the CMC testing centers. That's 80% of your grade. That's a lot of points from quizzes and tests, okay? So if you have a 90% or above, you'll get an A. 80 to an 89% is a B. 75 to 79% is a C. Now, you have, in order to pass the class, you have to have a C or better. Okay, so this is passing, all right? So unfortunately, because these skills are so necessary for you guys in the future, we need to ensure that you really know what you're doing. So this is a tough class because of the way you have to pass it with the 75% or above. Okay, in traditional classes, a D would be passing, okay? But we do not let you move on until you have a 75% or above. So that's a deal with that, okay? Okay, classroom management. Let's kind of just read through these real quick. Your written assignment should include your name, date, and assignment that was given, the section number of the activity. These will need to be submitted online, scanned as a PDF or picture. I will go over specific instructions on how to do that later in this video. All of these assignments are due at 11:59 p.m. each Thursday night, unless I tell you otherwise, okay? So, you know, we'll have some time to, you know, you've got from Thursday to Thursday to really learn this material and get it into me by 11:59 p.m., okay? Attendance in an online class is very important, guys. You know, you're not forced to go to a class, to go to a certain place at a certain time. It's up to you to do this on your own. So you are encouraged to spend some time each day working on the class. If I were you, I would spend 30 minutes to an hour at least every single day, and that includes weekends, okay? So, you know, that's what I would do, okay? Half hour to 30 minutes at least, probably more, okay? Okay, so, you know, be nice to each other, all right, in part 4. Part 5, students experiencing problems with classwork are responsible for telling the teacher. So if you're having an issue, you need to let me know, okay? I can't read your minds and know if you guys are doing okay or not. So you have to tell me what's going on, okay? And, you know, I can provide extra practice if you need, all right? You know, if you're doing, you know, office hours or something like that, guys, make sure you put your phones away. You know, just kind of make, you know, that's our time, and I won't be on my phone either. And you use your calculator when instructed, okay? And I will post homework and test grades on Canvas. Be sure to check Canvas regularly to help you know how well you're doing in the class. Okay, on the next page. Okay, how to be successful in this class. This is a big part of this. So what I want you to do is to be an active learner. Okay, watch all the videos and take good notes. You remember, you should learn from the notes, okay, and learn from the videos. And rewatch those if you need, okay? Follow my example and practice, okay? Make sure you guys are doing your homework, okay? It is a proven statistic. If you spend time on your homework and you actually do it, you'll have a higher success rate. Okay, check your homework. with the answers in the back of the book and the solutions that I provide online. Okay, if you're getting a different answer than what is printed in the book, retrying the problem, ask for help. Okay, set time to talk to me on WebEx for office hours if you're having issues. And then email me. If you can't do that, then feel free to email me a picture of the problem, and I'll send back a video, to you. Okay, and also there are tutors available at CMC locations. So if you want to go to a CMC location, you can access a tutor there as well. Okay, one of the things you could also do is read your textbook. Okay, all the information that I'm telling you in the videos is also in the textbook. Okay, organize your schedule. Guys, I would make sure you have a, set time for each day that you're able to, work on this class. Okay, and then study. Okay, and you can study with other people. As long as you guys are able to, if you're in the same town or whatever, you can work in groups. It's totally fine, okay? And if you don't understand how I'm doing it, we can look at other options, like using Khan Academy or something called Purple Math, okay? And guys, I want you to be successful. And I believe that everyone can be successful, but if you're having issues, you have to talk to me about those barriers that are impeding your success, okay? I'm here for you. I'm here to help, but you have to step forward and you have to try, okay? That's bottom line. Okay, here's some things that you need to know as far as you as a CMC student. If you are caught cheating, okay, on anything, you will receive a 0 for that work, okay? You can also be removed from class, resulting in a failing grade. And so I just wouldn't cheat. Okay, don't do that. All right. You are responsible for all the materials that are assigned. Okay, and attendance and doing all this is expected. Okay, I have the right to alter the syllabus and kind of say, hey, we're going to change this up. This thing is due on a certain day. So I can change things. I will notify you if things do change. Okay. If you do end up withdrawing from the course, that's totally fine, but you have to do it at the site of the registration office. So you have to go to campus to do that. Okay? All right. The other thing that we need to talk about here is the attendance and no-show reporting. So attendance and early engagement are important elements of your success in the course. So if you do not attend the first few classes or meet early attendance requirements, I must report those. So if you don't do the assignments that you're having to do for this right now, then then we're gonna, I have to submit that, and you guys might be dropped from that course if you don't show up. Okay. Now the other thing here, let's change this date. It shouldn't be 9/14 to 2017. It should be 9/6/17. Okay, so make sure that you have that, down as the date. So if I have to report those numbers by that date. Okay. If you have a disability for any reason, you are protected under the ADA and Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act. If you need any accommodations, then let me know. Okay, please. All right. Otherwise, I don't know. Okay, the following here is a list of people that you would need to talk to if you are having issues with, if you do need any accommodations. So these are the people that you would call. And then Title IX, Sexual Misconduct Contact Information. Okay, so if there is any sort of sexual misconduct, these are the people that you would need to, and the numbers and emails that you would contact if you're having issues. Okay. On the next page is a really important page. We need to talk about the tentative course schedule. Okay, and this is subject to change depending on how well you guys are doing. But I'll let you know if things do change. All right. So let's take a look at that. Okay. So what you see here, in like say week 1. So here's the week number and the dates, and then here's what we're the sections that we're covering, and here are the assignments, okay? So what I want you to notice here is that section, say section 7.2, okay, this section here, 7.2, and 7.3, they correlate with these assignments over here. Okay? Now, for each week, okay, it's these assignments here that are going to be due. So this is what's due Thursday at 11:59 p.m. Okay? So for the first week, what you would have to do, you know, so that you are in the first week right now, you'll have to do the, you know, the assignment for the orientation, but you also have to do 7.2 and 7.3. And what that means is that you need to do the notes, you need to do the homework, and you also have to do the video of you doing the problems. Okay, so video of problems. All right, and that's what's due for each section each week. Okay, so you have to have all three of these things turned in by 11:59 p.m. on Thursday. Okay, so you know, for this week, you just have a couple things. Okay, you're watching this video right now and you're taking notes over this video, and you know what you'll do. You know, I have a couple homework assignments on Canvas, and I'm going to make, you know, on this video, guys, you know, you will see, you know, more on how to submit these assignments and all that. So don't be, you know, if you don't know what you're doing, that's okay. We'll go over those at the end of the video. Okay, but this is designated for each week. Okay, so you do need to kind of plan ahead. You know, everything is all ready to go. You know, and all I want you guys to do is to make sure that you guys are able to, you know, follow this. Okay. Okay, here's the rest of this, okay? And so make sure, you know, what we know is that the final has to be done and turned in by the 14th or 15th, okay? So, you know, by the 15th is when you have to have everything done. So this is due by 12/15. Everything has to be done and due by 12/15, so December 15th, okay? All right, so, you know, if, as I'm going through these, there may be times where I might alter these assignments, okay? I will let you know, you know, every week the exact homework assignment that I will want you to do, okay? All right, okay, so what we'll be using for this class is what we call Canvas, okay? And it's what we call a learning management system, or LMS. Okay, and so what you'll do is you'll want to access Canvas on your web browser, you know, by going through CMC's Basecamp portal. Okay, and what you can do, you know, I will make a video on how to do this. So we're going to, you know, use this, and I'll make a video on how I want you to access Canvas. Okay, once you are in Basecamp, you will access the orientation materials, and this is kind of like what you're doing right now, and so forth. Okay, when you are ordering books, what you'll need to do is you need to go to this website here and go ahead and order that book. And when you select the location for your book, you're going to put online learning. Okay, if you want a, you know, an actual book, you can do that. Or if you want a virtual book, you can do that as well. So you can get this all from this information. Okay, we do have online tutoring. Okay, what's called Smart Thinking Online Tutoring. All students registered for a credit course can access the service by clicking Smart Thinking Online Tutoring on the left navigation of your course in Canvas. Okay, while this service is provided at no charge, Colorado Mountain College reserves the right to cap the number of free tutoring hours provided to a student. Okay, so if I'm not available, this is an option. Okay, and so the other thing that we have is we have a virtual library. Okay, it has its doors open 24/7. Okay. You know, you can access this kind of stuff if you want to look for other math materials. Honestly, I would just email me. Okay. If you want to know more about online learning, you can access these websites. If you have any other general questions, you can call this number. Okay. So now here's the other really important part. Is called the addendum. Okay. There is also a 1-credit lab course called Math Helps AAA 095. Okay, you must be enrolled in this course in addition to Math 050. There will be weekly assignments that I will assign based on your performance in Math 050. Okay, this course is designed to reinforce certain concepts that you are struggling with or to challenge you in areas that you excel in. Okay, this will be individualized to you in order to best suit your needs. So what I will do, at the end of each week, I'll kind of go through all of your stuff, and I will personally assign you guys certain problems, out of a certain workbook that I will give to you. So all that information, will kind of come as it goes. But you will all have a separate grade for this. So, guys, this might be like 5 to 10 questions per week that I'll have you guys do, depending on where you're struggling and what's going on in the class, okay? All right, so on this part, I want to talk about how to take notes and turn them in. So one of the hard things about an online class is my ability to check your work, to check to see if you've done it, if you've done what I've asked you to do. And so what we have to do is we have to do this, turn things in digitally. All right, so the first things first, what I want you to do is, have your computer open and have your notes out, okay? And then whenever I write on the computer, then you write out on your notes. Okay, when you're done with that, when you've watched the video and you've taken all the notes, what I want you to do is then take a picture of your notes, okay? And put a smile on your face because we're having fun when we do this. But, when you have this, you can either take a picture of the actual notes themselves, or you can, but the difference is that, you get kind of all this extra stuff on the sides and all that. So what you could do is scan it in with your phone, okay? And there's an app for that. And that app is called the Tiny Scanner PDF scanner. So what you would do, what it does is it takes the camera on your phone and it turns it into a PDF scanner. So what I would want you to do, if you do the PDF scanner, you'll create a document that is, your notes. Okay, so you would have a document that does this, or what you can do is you can do, take the photo and paste it into a Word document, and then save as a PDF. Okay, and you can do that too. I would prefer you to do it as a PDF. In any case, I want you to turn in PDFs. Okay. But if you do, I would prefer if you guys scan them in as a PDF before you do anything. But that's kind of my preference. But if you want to take a photo and put it and paste it into a Word document, you can do that too. Okay, now what I mean by that is take a photo. You may want to email it to yourself and then put it into a Word document, save it as a PDF. And then, the cool thing is, guys, is that not only do you have like a physical copy of this, but you have a digital copy as well, okay? And a part of this, to practice this, to turn it in, I actually want you to do the same thing with the notes from your orientation, okay? So right now, what I would like you to do is to practice this by physically taking and doing this, taking a scanner, scanning in a photo, and putting it into a PDF, and then turning it in on Canvas. Okay, so you turn them in on Canvas, and it'll be the assignment. So there's instructions on that page on Canvas that tells you what to do. Okay, so now let's talk about doing homework. Okay, on this part, how to do homework and turn it in, you'll turn it in the same way. So you'll turn it in the same way as you would notes. So turn it in, and that's going to be the same way as notes, okay? And you've had practice on doing that, on Canvas. But I want you to take a look at this picture, okay? When you're doing homework, there's a couple of things I want you to consider here, okay? Number one is that your notes are out, okay? So here, what I want you to see here is that you have your notes are out, okay? And you also have the video out, okay? And so what happens is that as you're going through problems, what you should do is you should look at your notes and say, okay, if I'm trying to do this problem, what did I do in my notes? Now, if you go into your notes and you say, okay, wait a second, this doesn't make any sense, you should go back to the video and rewatch the video. What did we do in the video that helped us do the problem in the notes? And then how could we apply that to do it from the book, okay? And then you would do your homework on a piece of paper, okay? And what I'd want you to then do is turn it in the same way as you would the notes, okay? And then I'll grade it, accordingly. So, but that's the idea. Okay, now the other thing is that you can also use the homework solutions, okay? Use the solutions to help you understand how I got the answer. So use it to understand. So use it to understand, okay, and not to copy. Okay, and so we've already kind of, talked about all that kind of stuff, and you can access the homework solutions on Canvas. Okay, those will be available to you on Canvas as well. All right, so, that about does it for homework, okay? And if you've got questions, get a hold of me, please, all right? And that's all I have for that, okay? Okay, the last little part I want to talk about is recording yourself. Now, what I do is I use a tablet. I use an iPad with a stylus to do this. To get the sound right, what I do is I use the headphones because on the Apple headphones, you have a microphone right here, and so you always consistently get good sound from that. So this is one option, okay? But there is also another option, and the other option is using Canvas, okay? So using Canvas. And this is kind of the preferred option. This is the cheaper option, obviously, as well. So using Canvas, you'll need to go out and get a small whiteboard, okay? And the whiteboards, I've looked on Amazon, the small whiteboard is around like $8, okay? You'll want to get some whiteboard markers as well. So whiteboard markers. And those are a little expensive too, but you can get those at any, Target, Walmart, whatever. And you can also get a small whiteboard at those same places too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to actually do that on Canvas and how to record yourself doing math on Canvas using the whiteboard. Okay, so what I want you to do for this next part, is actually use the camera that's on your computer. Okay, so use the little camera that's right there, and what you'll do is you'll then bring up your whiteboard here, and this is fun. Mine's really big. Yours probably wouldn't be so big, but then what I want you to do is come in here and say, okay, what is, 7 plus 3, okay? I know that 7 plus 3 is equal to 10, and you would make a video explaining that, kind of like what I do, all right? So that's the idea of what I want you to do. Now on Canvas, there will actually be a portion where you can, the assignment will be for you to actually record yourself doing it, okay? And you'll see that on one of them. So on the assignment for the orientation video, what I want you guys to do is to actually just record yourself talking and introduce yourself to me, and I'll give you points for that. So that's kind of the idea. So make sure you go out and get a whiteboard, get a couple whiteboard markers. This one I think shows up backwards for some reason. Yours probably wouldn't do that. If it does, then we'll deal with that and go from there. But yeah, pretty much it. So hope you enjoyed this. We'll see you in a bit. Thanks. All right, so to kind of wrap things up for this, guys, some assignments may be altered from what is printed. I'll let you guys know kind of on a weekly basis. I'll send out a newsletter and probably a video just like this with my face so you guys can see me, kind of explaining what we're going to do each kind of class period. So I will kind of send out a weekly announcement, so to speak, on how you're doing, you know, how our progress is going. You know, some of us might need more help than others. If you need to move on, go ahead and move on, and all that. And so, you know, when I mention this, I'll let you know your homework, your exact homework assignment at the end of each class. That'll kind of be toward, you know, in those weekly videos, what we should be doing. And I'll kind of have all that stuff written out and send you an email. And I'll send a video explaining that email as well. Guys, I look forward to this. Okay, it's a lot of information. It is going to be a lot of work, but I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything. There will be times that you will struggle and you will feel, you know, very frustrated, so to speak. It's a normal feeling in math, guys. I can't begin to tell you how frustrated I've been when I can't figure something out. So, but you know, perseverance and following through with these things, you know, they can help you with being successful in this class. So if you listen to me, you spend your time wisely, guys, I guarantee that I can get you through this class and that you'll pass. All right, but you got to be willing to meet me halfway. All right. You know, the last thing that I'm going to say is, you know, this may be some new ways of being in a classroom and thought processes. During that first week, I'm really going to have a lot of videos for you to watch. We're going to try and meet on WebEx a few times during that week, just so that we're all on the same page and that we're really, you know, I teach you guys how to do this, okay? I want you to learn from this video on how to do it, but for the few first, like, videos for Section 7, I'm really going to, you know, draw out specifically like what I want you to do. And I'll kind of have some more, you know, videos on how to check your homework and stuff like that. And, you know, examples on how to make the videos and do that. So that's all I got for this video. We'll see you soon. We'll get to know each other pretty well. And thanks for watching. See you in a bit. Bye.